I can't memorize names of people that I've met.
I know there was a Spanish name for Miss Nevada, I think it was. It was Spanish.
No.
Yeah.
Do you know who used to own Miss America? Miss USA. Sorry, Miss USA.
I do not.
The Donald.
Who?
Donald Trump.
I thought she said McDonald.
I have a question for you.
Yep.
So you mentioned when I think it was Mrs. Eiler mentioned maybe changing the name from beauty pageant to performance pageant was the term thrown out. Is it wrong that we honor beauty? Reward beauty? Notice beauty?
I don't think in and of itself that is wrong. It's when there's too much emphasis on it, and that's what defines a person, and that's what, if you don't have it, you're not a person. When it gets too heavy on that. When it gets too heavy on anything, things can be a problem. But that,
Yeah, I don't think that itself is a problem, but like similar to what he just said, what is a problem is like shaming the other side of it. So,
There are a lot of pageants out there that probably your largest mainstream pageants include interview and talent and some of these other competitions, but the ones that don't far outnumber the ones that do. So there are a lot of pageants out there are straight beauty pageants where all they do is bring girls in, they line them up, and they choose the winner. Do you guys have a problem with that sort of judgment?
I feel like they have like a number system for scoring, I believe.
Mhm.
And that's kind of reducing people to that number, that value that a judge gives them. And I don't think that's quite right. Certainly the performing aspect in that is all right, but the more basic and confined it gets to just lining people up and then giving them a number, the worse it gets. The more it crosses a threshold.
Gotcha, so like on the spectrum. That makes sense.
So what you're saying there is that you would suggest that those types of beauty pageants help reinforce or construct negative cultural connotations with beauty,
I would say they do that.
or constructs, I guess would be a better word. Do you feel like those are sexist at all? Since we've already established that there's not a lot of male beauty pageants.
Well, I feel it goes, it's just a people thing in general, right? Yeah, there's more of a demographic for females that are in a beauty pageant, but I wouldn't purely attach it to a sex-based problem. The problem is assigning people a number value and saying that people with a higher number value are better, or things of that nature.
Which brings me back to my question is, who gets to define what is beautiful? Who gets to define what the standard is by which you judge that? So that's why I was asking about who were the judges for, if you had any research about who ends up judging these contests.
Yeah, that was light research. I kind of noticed that it's mostly people who have competed before.
Mm-hmm.
You find anything different, sir?
You're still standing by your statement that if your daughter wanted to compete, you would allow her.
Yeah.
yes.
Would you ever be in a guy's beauty pageant?
I considered this the moment he said I want to do beauty pageants for a panel discussion. I said maybe for research. I'd go out and do one, come back and talk about it. It's one of those things that I would do just to do if I did. I wouldn't want to like continually do it. But I'm spontaneous enough to try. What used to.
Prior to that, it hadn't crossed my mind really. At first thought, it doesn't particularly interest me, so I don't think I would personally do it for that reason. I guess it's like one of those things you gotta experience.
Gotta experience.
I mean,
Put it in this context, though. Think about some of these pageants that pay for your college and give you a free car and a free wardrobe and thousands of dollars. Then would you be interested in competing?
The incentive is there,
Mhm.
the motivation is not.
I mean, I guess it would depend on how many people are competing against me, I feel like. At that point, I'm like, I mean, I could do it. At that point, it's like, okay.
So, given the potential for income, do you think it is a prostitution of yourself in some way to compete? If you're out there prostituting your body, your image,
Sturge mentioned before that there's a lot of money actually sunk into competing. I know one particular instance that I read about was a lady who spent $70,000 actually getting everything together and entering into several different contests, and she won one. And she got $2,500 for that. So there was more of a deficit than money earned. So I don't think that's necessarily what's happening.
do you have to win to enter other ones? Do you know? Do you have to win certain contests in order to move up?
Some states have kind of a moving up system. I know Florida was mentioned in what I read, where they have kind of more local and it moves up, and then you go to the Miss America. Not all of them do. Sometimes you can just enter into a higher ranking one. It's a lot of it's just if you feel like you can do it, then you just do it.
Guys, is there anything that you did not share today that you want to share before the bell rings?
I think I covered my bases.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.